I'm Britt Witt, and I am a music journalist, a band manager, an event producer, and the talent buyer that put the hi-hat on the map, and the current talent buyer at Collide Agency. I majored in economics in college because I needed to be practical. I knew from being born that I was just going to work in the music industry, and if I had to go to college, I might as well be practical about it. So, economics major, very helpful. The reason I knew that I would always be in the music industry is because my parents were both in the music industry. My father is an incredible composer. My mother was a band manager, and that just kind of snowballed into me wanting to have my own music magazine and my own record label and getting in touch with local bands when I was very, very young and started booking when I was a young teenager. And that kept going into what I am today. I don't really have one woman that inspired my journey. I grew up with a handful of very strong, influential female figures. It really became more of kind of glomming on and grabbing the qualities and traits that were really strong in them and taking those fragments and building the individual I am now. I think I had to be my own inspiration. The barriers that I've faced, well, acknowledging that being a woman is a barrier was a barrier in itself. I got lucky enough to kind of find places that were nurturing and didn't really have a dissonance in equality, but I also think that may have come from not giving into the stigma of being a woman. I considered myself just a professional, and I think that ended up alienating me from women, but it made it until a couple years ago I didn't start seeing those microaggressions and faults in communication. So I would say that only in the past couple years I'm recognizing that it is hard to be taken seriously. As a woman, I can say something a million times, but it takes until the man sitting next to me to say it once to actually be heard and then not get the credit. That's great. The most memorable thing is just being here through it, being able to watch artists grow. People like Silver Sun Pickups, local natives, Billie Eilish, I feel like I've been there through their whole careers, and to see them go from top ramen in the backyard to really fancy houses in East LA, it's pretty awesome. Speaking of Billie Eilish, I think she's, as an artist, is doing such a good job. I'm so proud of her. She went from standing on the stage at the hi-hat, performing in front of like hardly anybody, looking like she wanted to just jump out of her skin and be anywhere else, to performing in front of thousands of people every day, all over the world. And she's one of the biggest pop stars in the world, but she's not your typical one. She's not singing about bubblegum and kissing boys and dating. She's singing about depression and what it really feels like to actually meet success, or what you think success is. You forget that success is this constant ladder, basically. And to see her show vulnerability and that kind of strength that most people don't even have with their own family and partners is really incredible. Success means being a role model and ultimately being a trusted source in my industry. I'm not doing this career for me necessarily. My goal is to help others and to learn and take what I learn and hand it off to the next person. Success is just being able to be heard and be the voice for people that aren't being heard yet. I think it comes down to my friends and the strong network of people that I've built around myself. They are there through thick and thin. I genuinely admire these people, and for that admiration to be reciprocated, that's the confidence that I need to keep going.